Happy Christmas weekend, everyone. As you likely know by now, we are being kind to each other and to our extraordinarily dedicated worship team and amazing audiovisual volunteers by simplifying this final service of the year, by drawing on pieces from throughout the last couple years of services. We begin with a very playful entrance from last June.
Whatever beat is moving through your bones.
Whatever holy disturbance is rising in your chest.
Whatever good word you got for the good of the whole. Clap it, snap it,
and bring it out, call it out.
Gathered here in this sweet beauty.
Take the beat, add to it, change it, make it yours. This power, bring all that you are.
Let us make a joyful noise.
A more interesting sound.
A fuller call.
A greater yes.
Say it with me.
Yes.
Say it with me.
Yes.
Say it with me.
Yes. Call out hello and amen.
Hello
and
amen.
And let it out. Let us not waste this time. And yes!
Sing for justice.
Sway in hope.
This time is precious. You are precious. And all of us. This chance is a gift.
Each breath is a gift. Being all together is a gift. Let's celebrate.
Find a new rhythm.
Write a new song.
Make a new march.
For this longing, this dreaming, this discovery.
For the urgent call of this day. For courageous love. Let it ring out.
Come, let us worship together.
Together.
storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging, since love prevails in heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing?
Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Community of the Mountains here in Grass Valley, California, for the day after Christmas Sunday service, our final service for 2021, and the final service for the month of exploring what it means to be a people open to joy. I'm Gail Johnson-Vaughn, and actually not your worship associate today. Our whole worship team is collectively bringing you this service. Perhaps you could tell from the opening of this service that we've had a lot of fun putting it together. It is our gift to you in deep gratitude and appreciation for what you individually and as a congregation bring to us. Friendship, support, loving partnership as we grow together through a difficult time to become truly more who we are meant to be. We are all cozied up at home this morning and hope you are too. Today, we are sharing bits and pieces of what we consider some of our best services, hoping that they will bring you inspiration and the joy we experience being part of UUCM. So grab a warm drink, maybe some Christmas cookies, and settle in knowing that you are welcome here. Yes, you are welcome here. No matter if you just happen to connect with us for the first time today or rarely miss a service, no matter if you are watching early on this frosty morning or tuning in months or weeks later, no matter if your holiday time has been joyful and full of connection or troubled and sad, you are welcome here. You with light skin, dark skin, wrinkled skin, smooth and juicy skin, you who celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or participate in the prayers of Islam or lead a fully secular life, you are welcome here. Together we create a rich tapestry welcoming the diversity that makes us strong and vibrant. So welcome. I'm so glad that you came to be with us this morning and that I get to be with you.
A light of the people, by the people, for the people. A light wending through ancestral years and a log cabin president's lips. An illumination penned earlier by a minister, a Unitarian, Parker, in a music hall sermon, who could just as well have been explaining it to a curious newcomer as succinctly as he could. The point of any one of 1,000 flaming chalices kindled on this Sunday morning to call us to awareness and hope and the better angels of our nature. And when the bonds of our affection are terribly strained, a light whose truth resides not in the quiet flame itself, nor in the wax or the oil that is truly burning, but in the possibility birthed in each moment, in the process of combustion itself. A light of the people, a light by the people, a light for the people. In the best of our moments, maybe even this one.
In our commitment to be in respectful and right relationship with the descendants of this area's indigenous people, we place a small basket of black oak acorns on our altar each week. In so doing, we remind ourselves and acknowledge that the Nisenan people are still here among us today, though nearly invisible, and that we are on Nisenan land that was never ceded, and that the original tribal families have yet to recover from the near genocide of their people. As residents or visitors in Nisenan land, let us support the Nevada City Rancheria Nisenan tribe in efforts to stabilize their people, as well as their campaign to restore federal recognition.
We'll begin a movement series called the Circle of Joy. So you'll want to start by coming forward on your chair, bringing your sit bones up towards the top of your chair, and taking your feet onto the earth. This is a series that's designed to soften and relax the shoulders, open the heart, and invite joy into our mind, body, and spirit. We'll be connecting breath and movement, and we'll start by bringing the hands together on an inhale in front of the heart. On the exhale, interlace the fingers, round through your spine, and tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky, lengthen through the sides. And on the exhale, bring the hands behind your back. Lean forward, interlace the fingers, and inhale, open the heart. On the exhale, release the hands, rounding forward, hands moving in toward each other. And then inhale, hands back in front of the heart. And again, exhale, interlace the fingers, round through the spine. Inhale through the nose as you lift and lengthen through the side body. Exhale, hands behind your back. Lean forward, interlace the fingers, and then inhale, open the heart, arch the spine. And on the exhale, rounding forward, hands coming in towards each other. Inhale, hands in front of the heart. Exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, arms overhead, lift and lengthen. Exhale, hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Inhale, open the heart, arch the spine. Exhale, release the hands, arms come in front as you round through the spine. Inhale, hands together, back in front of the heart. Last one. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale, round. And inhale, hands in front of the heart.
The Paper Princess by Elisa Clevin. A little girl sat in the sunshine, drawing a princess. The princess's dress was like a forest. Her socks were like starry skies. Her shoes were like watermelons. Her face was so friendly and brave that the little girl loved her. What kind of hair should I give my princess? The little girl wondered as she cut the princess out. Yarn hair would be soft, she said, offering the princess a cracker. Cotton hair would be fluffy, she thought, taking the princess for a ride. Whoosh! The wind sent the princess flying. Wait! The girl chased after her. I didn't finish you! I'll finish myself, the princess called in a voice as thin and new as she was. But I want to play with you, the little girl cried. You're the best thing I ever made. Don't blow away. The princess tried to fly back to the girl, but the wind carried her the other way. So she waved goodbye, then somersaulted through the air, over a meadow, over a river. What kind of hair should I give myself? The princess wondered as she tumbled through the sky. Cloud hair is too cold, she thought, trying a little on. Blossom hair smells too sweet. Achoo! She sneezed. Candy wrapper hair is too crinkly. She threw the candy wrapper off and sailed on, bald as the man in the moon. Arriving at a carnival, a boy on the Ferris wheel caught her. Hand in hand they whirled around. The princess loved the ride, the colored lights, the stars, the jingling music, the warmth of the little boy's hand. "Hello up there," the boy's mother called. The boy waved back, dropping the princess. The wind caught her up again. It carried her into a town, past houses smelling of supper, past children playing with dolls, past parents tucking their children into bed. The princess saw them and felt homesick. "I can do without hair," she said, "but I wish my little girl were with me." Gently the wind rocked the princess until she drifted off to sleep. She floated like a leaf through the night. The princess awoke to the sound of a little girl's voice. "What a pretty paper doll! Too bad they forgot to give it hair." "She didn't forget," the princess wanted to say, but the little girl's thumb was pressed over her mouth. The girl took a pen out of her pocket, scribbled on the princess's head, and frowned. "Ugh," she said, "green hair! I thought that was my yellow pen. Now it looks worse." Before the princess could say a word, the girl crumpled her up and threw her into the garbage can. The princess wanted to cry. "Green hair is all right," she thought. "She didn't have to crumple me." "Help!" the princess tried to shout, but only a muffled squeak came out. She tried to jump out of the garbage can, but was too tightly crumpled to move. Children came and went, throwing trash on top of her. A jay came, pecking for food. "How lucky! A buttery bread crust," the jay squawked. "How sweet! An apple core." The jay pecked at the princess. "How handy! A fat wad of paper. I'll shred it to pieces and weave it into my nest." "Bird, don't shred me," the princess squeaked as the jay flew off with her. "Smooth me out so I can see the sun and fly above the lovely world and find the little girl who made me." "What's this?" the jay wondered, hearing the princess. "Some little creature must be caught in this paper." Back at the nest, the jay smoothed out the paper and saw the princess. "My gracious!" she cried. "Who are you?" "I'm a princess," said the princess. The jay brushed a speck of tuna fish from the princess's face. "Oh, poor princess, all wrinkled and scribbled green hair. Let's cover it with something warm and soft." She pulled a little real hair from her nest and stuck it onto the princess's head with sap. "How pretty you look," the jay remarked as she brushed the princess's hair with a feather. "Is there anything else you would like?" "I'd like to find the little girl who made me," said the princess. "Where does she live?" asked the jay. The princess tried to remember. "She lives near a tree with a swing, not far from a meadow, and a river, and a carnival. Do you think we can find her?" "We can try," said the jay. "I'll carry you with my feet. Hold on tight." Away they flew, out past the town, over the carnival, over the river. They saw many little girls, but they didn't see the one who made the princess. At length the jay stopped to rest. "I'm getting tired," she said, "and I'd better get back to my nest. Why don't you come home with me?" "Thanks," replied the princess. "Thanks for everything you've done. But I'll keep looking for my little girl." Good luck, the jay said softly. She hugged the princess goodbye. I hope we meet again, called the princess as the jay rose into the sky. I hope I find my girl, she thought, as she fluttered down to a meadow and landed beside a little boy. The boy's face was sweet but sad. What's the matter? asked the princess. I drew a picture of the meadow and it blew away, said the boy. Could you draw another picture like it? asked the princess. I don't have any more paper, said the boy, and it's getting dark. The princess had an idea. My other side is blank, she said. You could draw on it. Well, that wouldn't hurt you? asked the boy. No, said the princess. I'm paper. Just don't crumple me up if you don't like your picture. Oh, I won't, said the boy, and he began to draw. This picture's for my sister, the boy told the princess. Today is her birthday. What's a birthday? asked the princess. It's the day you were born, the boy explained. The day you came into the world. My birthday was yesterday, the princess said. A little girl drew me and cut me out. I want to get home to her. I'll help you find her. What does she look like? Well, she has brown hair and a friendly face, the princess said. My sister has brown hair, the boy replied, and she's usually friendly. She fed me a cracker, the princess added, and she loves to draw. My sister loves to draw, said the boy as he carried the princess home, and I think she would love you. He opened the door to his house. Happy birthday, he called to his sister, handing her the picture and the princess. What a beautiful picture, his sister said, but why is it shaped like... She turned the picture over. My princess, she cried, it's you. She gave the princess a kiss. It's you, cried the princess, trembling with joy. Happy birthday. Where have you been? asked the little girl. Where did you find real hair? The princess told her story about the search for hair and the Ferris wheel and the lonely night and the scribble girl and the helpful jay and the journey back to the brother in the meadow and home to the little girl. While she listened, the girl made the princess a paper crown and a cozy bed and an elephant to ride on and a banjo to play and a brother to play with and a sweater to wear when she went out flying. Here, there, everywhere, and home again.
One thing we do miss when we offer an entirely recorded service is the chance to share our joys and our sorrows with one another in the chat. Still, I invite you to notice once again all that you carry in your heart in this moment, to notice where your heart is guiding you. I invite you first to take 3 deep breaths with me. To let your body ease with a second breath. I invite you to listen within, to feel within, to feel what's in your body, to feel what's in your heart right now. Whose suffering is calling forth your compassion? Whose pain is drawing forth your empathy? Whose good news and happiness is actually calling up your joy? Whose uncertainty activates your own worries? Whose deep peace inspires your own calm? Notice too your own joys, your own sorrows, your own concerns that warrant your attention too in this moment, that may be stirring most resonantly in your heart right now. In the silence that we hold together, I invite you to let the prayers that arise naturally in your heart to rise up, to let your own thoughts and feelings just surface where they need to for a moment. To know yourself held in love and care. As you continue to let your prayers, your thoughts, your feelings go where they need to go, may Melanie D'Amour's powerful music help you know that love is speaking directly to you.
I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. No matter where you go, no matter where you've been, you'll never walk alone. I feel you deep within. So I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. No matter what you feel or what you choose to show, I'm always there for you. And so I want you to know that I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I walk the path with you. Go slow, dear one, don't hurry. I'll go just like you need to go. There is no need to worry, 'cause I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
Adri Suzanne Cousereau wrote this poem, Mary Oliver for Corona Times. Thoughts after the poem Wild Geese. You do not have to become totally zen. You do not have to use this isolation to make your marriage better, your body slimmer, your children more creative. You do not have to maximize its benefits by using this time to work even more, write the best-selling Corona diaries, or preach the gospel of Zoom. You only have to let the soft animal of your body unlearn everything capitalism has taught you, that you are nothing if not productive, that consumption equals happiness, that the most important unit is the single self, that you are at your best when you resemble an efficient machine. Tell me about your fictions, the ones you've been sold, the ones you sheepishly sell others, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world as we know it is crumbling. Meanwhile, the virus is moving over the hills, suburbs, cities, farms, and trailer parks. Meanwhile, the news barks at you, harsh and addicting, until the push of the remote leaves a dead quiet behind, a loneliness that hums as the heart anchors. Meanwhile, a new paradigm is composing itself in our minds, could birth at any moment if we clear some space from the same tired hegemonies. Remember, you are allowed to be as still as the white birch, stunned by what you see, uselessly shedding your coils of paper skins because it gives you something to do. Meanwhile, on top of everything else you are facing, do not let capitalism co-opt this moment, laying its whistles and train tracks across your weary heart. Even if your life looks nothing like the Sabbath. Your stress, boa constricting your chest. Know that your antsy kids, your terror, your shifting moods, your need for a drink have every right to be here and are no less sacred than a yoga class. Whoever you are, no matter how broken, the world still has a place for you, calls to you over and over, announcing your place as legit, as forgiven, even if you fail and fail and fail again. Remind yourself over and over all the swells and storms that run through your long, tired body all have their place here, now, in this world. It is your birthright to be held deeply, warmly in the family of things. Not one cell left out in the cold.
شاگرد توست دل که عشق آموز است ماننده شب گرفته پای روز است. My heart is your student, it studies love, and like the night it kneels before the day. Like oil it flows to the flame it feeds. Wherever I turn, love burns before me. Seek the wisdom that unties for you this knot. Seek the way forward that takes your whole life. Leave that nothing that looks like it's something. Seek the thing that looks like nothing, it's not. Last night, discreetly, I asked the wise old man to reveal to me the secret of the world. He whispered softly, "You'll know by knowing, not what can be told. Now hush." Drunk, I asked my teacher, "Please, I need to know what it means to be or not to be." He answered me and said, "Go, relieve the suffering of the world and you'll be free." او دادم را جواب و گفتا که برو گر رنج ز خلق دور داری رستی.
Well, thank you for this invitation. It's lovely to be here. Buddhism offers Unitarian Universalism a spiritual practice that has been vetted for 2,500 years and is grounded in direct experience. Like Unitarian Universalism, Buddhism does not start with doctrines or beliefs or even concepts. It starts with what we know firsthand. There are many styles of Buddhist meditation, but they all rest on simple insights that can be known directly. The most important are outlined in the so-called Four Noble Truths. Most Buddhist scholars and students of Buddhism agree that the Four Truths are the core of Buddhism, but they aren't capital T truths. Rather, they are simple meditation instructions based on practical, ordinary observations. I like to refer to the first three of these as three essential practices. In simple English vernacular, these three are turning towards, relaxing into, and deepening or savoring. In the Buddhist text, the first truth, or the first essential practice, is literally translated as understanding suffering, or suffering is to be understood. Understand here does not refer to an intellectual analysis, but to direct, intuitive knowing. If we understand a friend, we know what lifts her up, what brings her down, how she views her life, what she yearns for, and so forth. The Buddha said that we need to understand suffering deeply and intimately, like we might understand a friend. If we are going to understand the process of suffering and we are busy trying to fix it, rise above it, push it aside, distract ourselves from it, it won't work. To understand a person or a process, we must first turn towards it and open up and see it on its own terms. Particularly in these times when we observe our pain or suffering or angst openly, we see that there is tension. Tension is the common element that runs through all suffering. Without tension or resistance of some kind, we may have strong sensations, but we don't actually suffer. So the second truth, or the second essential practice, is literally translated with a very dramatic verb. Tension is to be abandoned. How do we abandon tension? We relax. The tension might be physical or emotional or mental, it doesn't matter. We simply invite it to soften. We relax. The problem is that in English, the verb relax often has an aversive connotation. Relax, man, let it go, push it away. This aversion is the opposite of turning towards. So I like to translate the second practice as relax into. Relax into. Where you relax any tension, but not as a way of distancing ourselves from it, but as a way to open more deeply to it. We relax into our angst, or into our anger, or fear, or yearning, or grief. This allows us to see more deeply into the experience of hurt or grief or stress and to understand it better. The third noble truth, or third essential practice, takes this a step further. It says it's not enough to see superficially what's going on. We need to see to the core of our experience. We need to see deeply what's going on underneath. So, for example, if we turn towards and relax into our hurt or grief or heartache, relax deeply into it, we begin to see that underneath all that, there's a tenderness. If we aren't tender, if we're an emotional brick, we won't suffer. Anytime there's a feeling of distress, there is some tenderness underneath it. So we relax into this tenderness. And as we do, You find in it there is some openness, some spaciousness. Without that openness, there would be no tenderness. And if we relax deeply into the openness, we may begin to experience freedom. We all want that sense of freedom, that inner peace, spiritual aliveness, openness of being. But too often we look for it by turning away from difficulty, or hardening against hurt, or distracting ourselves. Buddhism and Unitarian Universalists are sympathetic to this urge to run from angst and strain. The angst and strain are kind of wired into our biology. But we also understand that this doesn't work. Turning away doesn't work, not in the long run. So to find our deepest well-being, we have to turn towards, relax into, and deepen through the experience of difficulty. The only path that works in the long run goes through the suffering. It doesn't go around them. It goes through the suffering, through the tenderness, and through into the openness, rather than trying to make that end run. So rather than trying to fix, transcend, rise above, or push aside our difficulty, we can turn towards, relax into, and deepen or savor. When we go deep enough, the deepening turns into savoring. We just let this well-being soak into our bones. These are some of the common elements in Unitarian Universalism and Buddhism. Turning towards, relaxing into, and deepening or savoring. So let's take a few moments to just see if we can taste a little bit of this strategy. So I invite you to think of some situation that's uncomfortable for you. It might be big or small. It might be in relationships or emotions or how we feel about the world. It might be in some sense of failure or letdown. It could be anything that pulls your spirits down. And if you like, you can just close your eyes and bring to heart some of the suffering or some of the aching in your life. Don't try to think or analyze it. Those can be helpful in some situations, but our thoughts can also be gullible. So instead, we feel our way into the situation by simply turning towards in your mind and heart. Open up to it. Let it be as it is. And as you do so, whatever feelings come up, simply notice if there's any tension in them. Don't try to change the situation or what you feel. Just notice any tightness or thickness in the mind or heart. And gently, gently invite it to soften. Relax into it. And as you do so, notice if there's any tenderness underneath. And relax into that tenderness. And notice any openness or spaciousness beneath the tenderness. And relax into that spaciousness. And let the spaciousness soak into your being. Do you notice any openness or uplift or a quiet sense of well-being? Savor it. Let it soak in. Namaste. I bow to the light within you, deep within all of us. Blessed be.
This week, a colleague shared a quote that had the rest of us laughing in recognition. You may have encountered this before. The quote was attributed to a 4-year-old, at least in the version that we received. It is, "I walk around like everything is fine, but deep down inside my shoe, my sock is sliding off." As I said, we each laughed in recognition, all of us ministers. Here on Christmas weekend 2021 and at the edge of the year, that sounds about right for many of us, doesn't it? The quote brought to mind immediately memories of my childhood in Michigan when I was outside in the snow, especially while my brothers and sisters and I were sledding on the nearby hills, when inside my winter boots as I trudged back up the hill again and again, my socks would gradually be inching themselves off. I'd notice it, but I would hold off on doing anything because we were sledding, and who wants to interrupt the fun or take a boot off outside in the freezing cold? Of course, eventually, usually, it would become uncomfortable enough and risk blisters enough that I would have to simply stop, pull my boot off no matter how cold it was. Sometimes the plastic bread bag my mom had us wear to keep our feet dry had to come off too. I'd brace for the cold and try not to get snow in my boot while I quickly pulled my sock back up and got back to sledding as soon as I could, or walking back to the house. It's not that we're pretending everything is fine these days. We're getting better at being honest about our worries and our concerns as the pandemic plays itself out. And as we slide down and then trudge back up its hills. But our boots, our shoes are, for the most part, still on for most of us. While inside, our socks, our protective layers of warmth and friction easing have been gradually inching themselves off. It requires at some point stopping long enough to brave the cold and to pull that sock back on, at least if we want to avoid blisters and very cold feet. Or maybe it invites us actually to put some different socks on, some different warmth, some different protection. I learned that quote either inspired or was the result of a larger invitation to finish the sentence, "I move around like everything is fine, but deep down, a more open and possibly more helpful wording for some of us might be, I move around like everything is fine. And deep down." Either way, as we turn the corner of the year and you prepare to consider your word or your question for the coming year, maybe here's a starting place. I move around like everything is fine, and deep down, ... or but deep down, ... What would your response be? How would you complete the sentence? So much of the road ahead has to do with how we will complete various sentences. Maybe this week, find a spot to sit down, even in the midst of the cold and the snow, to take off that shoe or boot and to pull your sock back up, to care for your spirit, in other words, for the walk up the next hill, for the next slide, or for the walk back home. blessings on the year past with all that it's held, and blessings on the year ahead with all its ands and buts and its waiting, uncompleted sentences.
"25% of our offering this month will support Hospitality House, whose mission from their website is to bring homeless people in Nevada County into a circle of community caring that offers shelter, sustenance, medical care, advocacy, opportunity, dignity, and hope as we assist them in transitioning from homelessness to housing. Every community should have something like Hospitality House. As long as there are homeless people, there is a need for institutions like this. Since we are not passing a plate in person, giving in other ways is vital to our ability to sustain the work of our community. Thank you for your generosity. See the slide for ways to give by text, PayPal, UUCM's website, or by mail. let us dedicate this offering to justice, equity, and compassion in human relations.
Though it's not quite New Year's yet, this is the week of turning. So let's ring out all the old that we will leave behind, and let's ring in the new that we do not even know yet.
Ring out wild bells to the wild sky, the flying cloud, the frosty light. The year is dying in the night. Ring out wild bells and let it die. Ring in love, ring in hope, ring in peace and justice. Ring in faith, ring in joy, ring in love, ring in love. Ring out the old, ring in the new, ring happy bells across the snow. The year is going, let it go. Ring out the false, ring in the true. Ring in love, ring in hope, ring in peace and justice. Ring in faith, ring in joy, ring in love, ring in love. Ring out the grief that saps the mind. For those that hear we see no more. Ring out the feud of rich and poor. Ring in redress to humankind. Ring in love, ring in hope, ring in peace and justice. Ring in faith, ring in joy, ring in love, ring in love. Ring out false pride in place and blood, the civic slander and the spite. Ring in the love of truth and right. Ring in the common love of good. Ring in love, ring in hope, ring in peace and justice. Ring in faith, ring in joy, ring in love, ring in
For our closing words, which are really an entrance to the new, I offer the familiar words to many of us of Wayne Arneson. Take courage, friends. The way is often hard, the path is never clear, and the stakes are very high. Take courage, friends, for deep down there is another truth. You are not alone. So may we know it to be. And though we are in some way in our own worlds this weekend, there is an important truth underneath all of that, that you are not alone. Knowing this always, let us share in this community benediction. Let us
carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again.
Trouble above, trouble below, trouble ahead of me. What do you know? Wake up in the morning, what do I find? Trouble is everywhere, but ain't none on my mind. 'Cause I got peace like a river, I got love through the night, I got joy like a fountain, I'm gonna be alright. I've got rhythm and harmony ringing in me. Love is free, peace is free, joy is free. Free, free. Is there strife in the world? Is there strife in the home? Are you feeling a little lost? Are you feeling alone? Waking up at midnight. Do you remember your dreams? Riding a raft on a cool, gentle stream. Yes, you have peace like a river, love through the night. You've got joy like a fountain, my dear, you can be alright. 'Cause you've got rhythm and harmony ringing in you. And love is true, peace is true, joy is true, true, true. Whatever way you're looking, there is something there to see. Is it a paradise or prison? Or what do you believe? We can have peace like a river, joy from our souls. We can have love as a beacon, guiding everywhere we go. Let our hearts beat the rhythm, let the anthem we sing be. Love is free, peace is free, joy is free, free, free. Love is free, peace is free, joy is free.